Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Mesat Bulletin. And now we shall start with our headlines. Pakistan steps up security after IS kills 9 in church attack. Russian president thanks American counterpart for CIA tip that stopped bomb plot. And moving on to our details, starting with Islamabad. Pakistani security forces were on high alert across the country on Monday, following a suicide attack by the Islamic State group that targeted a church, killing 9 people. The assault on Sunday in Quetta, the capital of southwestern Balochistan province, also wounded about 60 worshippers. It's worth mentioning that it was the first attack on a church claimed by the IS affiliate in Pakistan. A group funeral was held on Monday afternoon after a service at Quetta's Christian cemetery, attended by ministers, government officials, and members of civil society groups. Moreover, commemorations were held across the country. In Kabul, Islamic State gunmen stormed a partially constructed building near an intelligence training center in the Afghan capital on Monday, triggering a gun battle with security forces. Deputy spokesman for the Interior Ministry said the fighting ended when Afghan security forces shot and killed the 3 attackers without suffering any casualties. He also said the gunmen who launched their assault with a car bomb and rocket-propelled grenades appeared to have been wearing police uniforms. The militants took up positions at the construction site in order to fire down on the training center. On the other hand, the Islamic State group claimed the attack. On the other side of the world, Russian President Vladimir Putin telephoned U.S. President Donald Trump on Sunday to thank him for a CIA tip that helped thwart a series of bombings in St. Petersburg, according to what the Kremlin and the White House said. The Kremlin said during the call Putin expressed gratitude for the CIA information, saying that it led Russia's top domestic security agency to a group of suspects that planned to bomb St. Petersburg's Kazan Cathedral and other crowded sites this weekend. From another perspective, the White House said that Putin extended his thanks and congratulations to CIA director and the entire agency. On to Britain's EU exit, British Prime Minister Theresa May was meeting on Monday with senior ministers to begin thrashing out Britain's plans for its long-term relationship with the European Union after Brexit. May was meeting with her Brexit War cabinet to formally discuss what trade deal Britain wants with the EU. Also on Monday, the Prime Minister outlined to Parliament her plans for the 2-year transition period Britain wants to implement after it leaves the EU in March 2019. On another side, Albanian police clashed with opposition supporters who tried to force their way into parliament to disrupt a vote on the appointment of an interim prosecutor general on Monday. Around 3,000 demonstrators gathered outside parliament to condemn the selection of a temporary prosecutor general, which they say is unconstitutional. Riot police pushed back the protesters after they broke through a first security cordon outside parliament, but the demonstrators threw smoke bombs toward officers, leaving several people injured. Opposition lawmakers also threw smoke bombs inside parliament, but governing legislators managed to hold the vote and elect Arta Marcu as acting chief prosecutor, with 69 votes from the ruling Socialist Party. On to Austria, Sebastian Kurz was sworn in on Monday as Austria's new chancellor, making him Europe's youngest leader at age 31, after his Austrian People's Party formed a coalition with the Nationalist Freedom Party that is expected to move the country's politics to the right. The 2 parties have pledged to tighten the country's asylum and immigration regulations while maintaining a firm commitment to the European Union. On the other hand, about 6,000 people protested outside President Alexander Van der Bellen's office, according to what the DPA news agency reported. Meanwhile, President Juan Orlando Hernandez was declared the winner of Honduras' disputed election. Electoral Tribunal President announced on Sunday evening that Hernandez had won, saying, "We have fulfilled our obligation and we wish for there to be peace in our country." According to the court's official count, Hernandez won with 42.95% to 41.42 for challenger Salvador Nasrallah, who well before the announcement had challenged the result and said he would not recognize it. From another aspect, there were reports of nighttime demonstrations on main boulevards in the capital and other cities, and Nasrallah's party called for more protests on Monday. And finally, our economic news. Share prices were higher in Europe on Monday after a day of robust gains in Asia. Japan's benchmark was a standout, jumping 1.6% on news the country's exports surged in November. Germany's DAX advanced 1.6% to 13,317.65, and the CAC 40 of France climbed 1.2% to 5,414.27. Britain's FTSE 100 rose 0.4% to 7,519.43. Dow futures gained 0.6% to 24,827, and S&P 500 futures were up 0.4% at 2,682.25, pointing to an upbeat start on Wall Street. Moreover, Japan's Nikkei 225 index jumped 1.6% to 22,914.85, while the Shanghai Composite Index fell 0.3% to 3,256.46. And before ending our news, let's take another look at the most important headlines for today. Pakistan steps up security after IS kills 9 in church attack. Russian president thanks American counterpart for CIA tip that stopped bomb plot. And we reach the end of our Mesat bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow in a new bulletin.